Hello and welcome to today's video where I will teach you how to use images in your mobile app in Android Studio, of course, the easy way. So what we'll actually build will be a very simple one activity app that will have two image views, one on top, one in the bottom of the screen, and one button. Each image view has an image loaded, and when you press the button, these images will be switched. So the upper image will go in the lower part of the screen and the lower image will go in the upper part of the screen. So each time you press the button, this change will occur. So it will be very simple. I will teach you in the beginning how to load an image inside an image view in the XML file, and then I will teach you how to programmatically load an image so that you can change them whenever you want during your application's lifecycle, whether it is pressing a button or if some other action is performed, you will know how to change the images. So let's see how the code looks and what we actually do in the code. You will start by opening Android Studio and you will create a new project, and this will be an empty activity project. I'm sure you know how to create them by now. If you still need help, check any of my previous videos. But for now, if you have created your project and it's already loaded, this is what you should see on the screen. Left side, you have your files and folders. And here in the middle, you have the two open files, which is the main activity Java file, where we will have the code when we press the button and so on. And here the activity main XML file. And this is your user interface. And of course, you can see it in code mode or split mode, as you wish. We'll mostly stay in design mode. Now, before we move to building the user interface, what we need to do is just to import several images into our project. And this will be the images that we will load inside the image views. And for this, I go on my computer and I have these 5 images already prepared. I just copy them. And here in the app, you have the Java folder, you have the resource folder. So you just open the resource and then you have drawable. And here inside the drawable, we will paste the images. So you right click on the folder, on the drawable folder, and you just say paste. You select drawable and you click OK. These images can come from your computer. You can take them from the internet, doesn't matter. You can create them yourself. But at the end of the day, you will have them inside the drawable, as you can see here. Okay, with this being done, I can minimize the project folder and we can start building the user interface. You can see we have this text view, hello world. We don't need it, so we can just click on it and delete. However, what we will use, two image views. So you take the first one, you just drag and drop it on your activity. You will be asked which item or which image to be loaded by default. And let's say back one, this is the first image. So this will be loaded here in the upper image view. And then you have another image view. We'll just place it lower. And this, I'll just say the second image. Between them, we'll add a button. As you can see right now, we have several issues because this is a constraint layout and our 3 objects have no constraints set. So you can just select them 1, 2, and 3. You can go to align, and for align, you can just align them horizontally. Okay, let me just cancel this. I'll just, they have a bit more space between them, so there is no confusion. So you take the first one, the second one, and the third, and then you go to align, and you say horizontally, and then you can align them vertically. Okay, so right now, the distance between the items and the edges of the screen are split equally. What we need to do is just go to the first image view and we'll change the ID to image view top. So we know this is the one on top. You hit enter and it will be refactored in the entire project. You go for the second image view and you will call this image view bot from bottom or lower one. And for the button, we can just leave it as it is, button. The text will be changed to switch images. And I think it's a good idea to also increase the size of the text So you can type size in the search box here, look for the text size attribute, and you can just increase it to 24 should be enough. Okay, so this is the user interface. You can see we have two images already loaded into the image views, and I'll show you how to do it. For example, if you want at a later stage to add an image, let's say you don't have the image when you build the application and later on you need to add it, you can just go to code. I'll just go to this part here where you can see the code. And for the first image view, you see the ID is imageView top. You have this source compact. So over here, this line of code will say which is the image to be loaded. So from the drawable folder, it will be image1. If I will delete this, right now we have no back simple image. You can see there is nothing loaded in the image view. If I say number 5, this is the 5th image, it will be the one with the 5 loaded. So if you need to build your app and later on you have some image that you want to add, you can just come here. If it's just a static image that you load once and it's there forever for the entire lifecycle of the application, you can just load it in the XML file. If, however, you need to change it programmatically later on while the app is running, then we will go to the main activity Java file and I will show you how to do it. This is what we'll do. First, I will open this import section so you will see all the classes that have been imported. If you don't import all the classes that are necessary, you will have some errors, and probably if you don't have experience, if you're a beginner, you don't know why those errors will occur. So you just see here what we import. And we'll start by having the image view. Okay, we import this image view and we'll say image view top. And we also have a image view bottom. These are the two image views that we will use. We also have a button. And we will import this class as well. You can see it here. And we also need a integer variable. I'll just call it variable. Okay, and this should be enough for this simple example. The rest of the code we put inside the onCreate method. And we'll say like this. Image view top. We have two references. We'll use find view by ID. And you'll say resource ID dot, and you will find it here, image view top. Now we have to do the same for the lower image view, for image view bottom. I just copy and paste the line above, and I'll just change to bottom and in the right side as well. Okay. This takes care of it. We also have the button. So we say button. We'll just find it by ID as well, and it will be resource ID, and we choose from the list the button. Now that we have the object's reference, we need to implement a on-click listener for the button, and for this, you say button dot set. Actually, I missed the dot. Okay, here we are. And this will be set an on-click listener. It will be a new. This suggestion is right, the view on-click listener. And the rest of the code is generated automatically. And inside here, you will put whatever code is executed when the button is pressed. So what we want to do is just switch the images from top to bottom and bottom to top. For this, we have to take this variable and increment it. This will be the first step. However, I will first make it equal to 0. Just to make sure when we begin, this variable is equal to 0. And then each time you press the button, it will become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forward. Now, after we increment this variable, we will say if the variable okay, so let me just close the brackets. So what we do here, we check to see if the number is odd. So if the variable divided by 2 and the rest of this division is 1, so if the division is not perfect and we have something left over, which is a 1, means the number is not even, it's odd. So for an odd number, what we need to do? We need to change the images, and we'll start by saying image view top. So the top image view will set image resource, and we will select from resource the drawable, and then we'll just give it the name of the image to be loaded, and this will be, so in the top one we need the second image, the lower one. Here, make sure when you give the name of the file, don't give the extension, only its name. And we will repeat the same for the other text view, and I will explain once again what happens here. Okay, so this is what happens. When we begin, when we initially loaded the program, we have in the top image view, we have the image number 1 loaded, and in the bottom image view, we have image number 2 loaded. This is what happens by default when you first started the app. Now, when you click the button, this variable that was 0 when the app started becomes 1. And then you check if the variable divided by 2 is not even a number, so this is an odd number, then what you do, you take the image, the second image, and you put it in the top image view, and you take the first image and you put it in the bottom image view. So basically you switch them. Now, if this is not the case, and let's say we press the button again and the variable becomes 2, we need to switch the images again. So we'll say else. And in this case, I'll just copy the entire lines and I'll just put the first image back in the top image view, and the second image, I'll move it back to the lower image view. So this should be everything. I'll just save my files and I will give it a go in the emulator. I'll select my virtual device, the Pixel Epi24, and I'll press run. Let's see what happens. And let's see, does it happen? Here we go. If I press again, it happens again. So every time I press the button, the images will change. They will switch from top to bottom and bottom to top. So this is your app. I hope you learned something new today. I hope this will be helpful for you. If you need to learn other things, check my other videos. If you have comments, if you need to share anything with myself, with the community, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will do my best to reply as soon as possible. Until we meet next time, when I will show you a bit more depth videos about the image view. For example, I will show you in next videos how to use multiple images and how to go previous and next and to cycle through a list of images. So this will be a bit more advanced, but still presented in the easy way. So anyway, until we meet again in the videos, keep learning, keep watching, and have a good day.